Yes, it is. This is exciting.
Do you guys see my screen?
Not yet.
You don't?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can they hear us?
I think so.
Does everybody have enough bubbly water?
Oh, Lisa, Charles gonna get his own invitation, so he's logged in as an attendee. Shall I send him a different link?
Yeah, because I think he's not coming here. So I don't know if he's at the restaurant or what.
Okay.
There we go.
There we go.
Space or this? It's accurate.
We're going to give it a couple more minutes before we start our presentation, but please be patient and thank you all for coming.
Maybe they don't have somebody on purpose. We'll be on video. We do their stuff. We can turn on video.
Okay.
Okay. What do you think? Should we go ahead and start? It's 5 o'clock. You want to wait a few more minutes? We've got about 34 participants right now.
Yeah, let's wait just like 2 minutes.
Okay.
People can come on.
Jen, next time, maybe some background.
Background music.
Get Michael to get us.
You guys hear us?
Hi, Derek. Come again.
Hi, guys.
We're going to get started in just a couple minutes here. We're waiting for attendees to show up. More.
We don't have a cool background.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
Should we put on our camera or wait until we speak?
It's up to you.
Do we want to be observed for a long time?
That's right.
How's everyone doing?
Oh,
Good.
great.
I feel
Welcome
like
to the fish tank.
I feel like a college student, like I'm about to give my, my dissertation or something. I'm svetting. I'm svetting.
All right. So may I ask the participants to let's mute ourselves unless we're going to be talking, if that's okay, because just to eliminate background noise.
Absolutely. Yeah, okay.
Okay, should we get started?
Yeah, let's.
Okay, great. Welcome, everyone, and thank you for your interest in our new and exciting downtown project, the Farm to Coast Collective at the Livery on Main. My name is Jennifer Klein, and I will be your host for tonight's presentation. I'm currently the Marketing and Creative Director for the Beal Group, which you will learn about in the moment. And I've been a longtime resident of this community starting back in 2003 when I had a downtown business called Earthchild right across the street from this current project. I'm personally very much looking forward to being downtown again and contributing to our beloved Sebastopol community. And we're very excited to be able to present our project, Farm to Coast Collective at the Livery on Main, a multi-level indoor-outdoor food hall, co-work space, and entertainment venue that supports and empowers local small businesses. The Livery on Main is the name of the building, and Farm to Coast Collective is the company we have created that will operate within the building. We have a lot of great info to share with you all tonight, and I'm going to present it as swiftly as possible, we all are, with the help of the visuals from this deck. We ask that you enter your questions in the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen, and we will leave time to answer them at the end of the presentation. If you are joining us live on social media, please type your questions in the comments section, and we will answer any questions from social media within the next 48 hours. This is an overview of tonight's agenda. We will begin with our introductions, get to know a little bit about who we are, what we're doing, and why this project is meaningful to us and our community. Then we will meet our licensees and learn a bit about who they are and what they will be offering at the Livery. And then we'll explore our project timeline and share with you when you can expect to enjoy this downtown project. And we will conclude with our upcoming highlights, where you can learn what to expect in the coming months leading up to our opening in autumn 2022. And as I mentioned previously, we will leave time at the end to answer any questions. So please do write them in the Q&A as we go along. In a few moments, Gregory Beal, our president and CEO, will be introducing himself and the Beal Group family of companies to you. But I wanted to introduce a few of the other members of our passionate team who have been working to make this project a reality. In addition to Greg Beal, we are joined today by Becca Lipsky, the COO of the Beal Group, Katie Modell, Controller, Thor Holm, General Manager, and Michael Wilson, Technical Consultant. These leaders have been leveraging entrepreneurial, hospitality, finance, human resources, IT, production, and content creation experience in our local community, as well as the broader Bay Area for over 20 years. If there is any group that can pull this off, it's this one. And now I would like to introduce and hand it off to Greg Beal to introduce the project.
Thank you, Jen. My name is Greg Beal. I'm the founder and CEO of Farm to Coast Collective, as well as several other small Sebastopol-based businesses. These businesses include Builder Studio of Sebastopol, an architecture and engineering firm, Thrive Construction Group, a general contractor, Beal Group Properties, property owner and manager, and the Beal Group, a business management team that was built to empower other small businesses. This collaborative family of companies was intentionally designed based on a shared services model. The Beal Group's team provides all of the strategic management and back of office support necessary to run our other companies. Sharing these services across multiple businesses decreases overhead and expenses for each company. Over the last few years, we saw so many local small businesses, business owners struggling, particularly in the food and beverage industry. And we asked ourselves, how can we help? we decided to find a way to bring the shared services model to the food and beverage industry in an effort to support our local economy and community. For us, supporting local business is a no-brainer on an individual level, but we want to take it further. What if we as a community had an opportunity to have a much greater impact by truly investing in our town and our people? Farm to Coast Collective is our actionable response. Before I talk specifically about Farm to Coast Collective, I want to talk about food halls in general. Food halls are usually socially driven and experientially focused projects, which include a collection of micro kitchens offering a thoughtfully curated assortment of unique, high quality food and beverage items created by talented local chefs. Prior to COVID-19, food halls were the fastest growing trend in the food and beverage industry, and we believe they have the potential to be the sustainable future for food and beverage. What is Farm to Coast Collective? Farm to Coast Collective is a fresh take on the food hall model, one which offers a more extensive list of shared services than in other food halls. We created this company to directly benefit a group of thoughtfully curated local businesses who will work symbiotically within the Livery. The word collective in the name is not an accident. We believe in the power of the collective. Within the Livery, our shared services framework will support local farmers, chefs, artists, performers, and makers. Farm to Coast is a public benefit corporation with a mission to socially and economically empower small businesses to succeed in their passion. And we have a vested interest in this community. This is where our team lives and works and where our children go to school. Investing in our town and people means everything to us. Our team is spearheading a revitalization project right here in Sebastopol, California, by the community, for the community. We have spent the last 2 years completely reimagining an underutilized downtown building into a vibrant community hub called the Livery on Main. This meaningful development strives to preserve the building's unique history and stay consistent with our town's distinctive character. Here are some photos of the building. One of them is from the 1890s, one from today, and a digital rendering of our design for the future of the building. As you can see here, in the 1890s, the Livery was just that, the golden rule livery and feed stables. We use this as an inspiration for our project's name, as well as for the design. With this development, it is our goal to breathe life back into this structure while re-energizing our local economy and benefiting multiple small businesses. We take pride in the history of the building. We have a deep love for our town, and we have paid respect to that with our thoughtful design. This project is right across the street from our friends at Retrograde Coffee Roasters and Sebastopol Sunshine Cafe, next door to Sushi Hana, and across the public parking lot from Hot Monk. There are so many wonderful small businesses close by. In considering what we want to see in the Livery, it was and continues to be important to us to complement, not compete with our neighbors. We truly believe that rising tides raise all ships, and we are dedicated to finding creative ways to collaborate and support our neighbors, not just the businesses within the Livery. Those of you who have lived in Sebastopol for a long time are probably familiar with the Round Table Pizza building, which is the location of the Livery on Main. We are also very excited to announce that we recently acquired the Persinger Architecture building right next door to the Livery. It's shown here with the dark gray stripe on top. This acquisition will allow us to extend the project to include 1 or 2 more small businesses as licensees of Farm to Coast Collective. One thing you may not be aware of is that Burnett Street is one of the only streets in downtown Sebastopol that can be closed off for special events, adding to the amazing potential of this project. And as many of you know, the annual Apple Blossom Parade passes right by the building. We can't wait to watch go by from the second floor balconies this September 18th. Now I'd like to hand it over to Thor Holm to talk a bit about sustainability measures we are considering. Thor?
Thanks, Greg. I'm Thor Holm, and I'm the general manager of Farm to Coast Collective. We're focused on sustainability and making every effort to consider our environmental footprint in this venture. From the very beginning, tearing down this building to construct a brand new one could have been more cost effective than remodeling the existing structure. That would not only be bad for the environment, it would have been bad for our community. The building will incorporate solar panel covered trellises, low flow plumbing system, drought tolerant landscaping, and LED fixtures throughout. We will establish relationships with local farmers to source product, as well as partner together on composting solutions for the Livery. It is our intention to incorporate local delivery using low or zero emission vehicles. We aspire to be a catalyst for the shift to reusable takeout containers like dispatch goods containers. And we have been exploring collaborating with our farming licensees to potentially implement a program for donating excess food to those in need. Back to you, Greg.
Thanks, Thor. I'd like to share some additional renderings of the exterior of the Livery on Main. As you can see, we have incorporated some of the brick and archway elements from the Golden Rule Livery and Stables building from the 1890s. But we've also given in more of a modern, maybe even industrial farmhouse look, kind of a Wild West meets modern, if you will. The design includes brick cladding, cedar siding, perforated metal railings, and some smooth stucco finishes. This is from a perspective kind of southwest of the building, kitty corner, showing a little bit more from a higher level. This one here is if you were standing in the public parking lot just south of the building looking northward. This is the west side of the building, which is South Main Street, as if you were maybe on the second level above retrograde looking towards the east. You can see a stairway covering going up where the alleyway is now. And part of that structure actually is to house some of the mechanical systems to vent up and away as far away from the usable space on the third level. So there's some multi benefits, function and fashion of some different elements of the project that were really fun to create. This is a virtual shot from what will be the second level balcony. Walking by the elevators, you can see the solar panel trellises above, planters on the side. The windows you see off to the right actually look into the building and down through the floor into the stables area on the main level. And then that would be like looking at Main Street beyond there. This is another perspective as if you turned that corner. Main Street would be to your left and we're walking northward over the west entrance. And this is kind of towards where you see the perforated metal. Beyond that is where the UPS store building is directly behind that. And this is more of a bird's eye view from the southwest, including where the light gray is on the right is the Persinger building, which is now part of this project. Jen, take her away.
Thank you, Greg. So this is a floor plan of our first level, which we are calling the stables, as a nod to the old livery that was once there. The stables will be a food hall comprised of micro kitchens made up of thoughtfully curated West County culinary artisans. These local chefs will share common seating areas, both indoor and outdoor, as well as a broad array of other services. More on those services coming up in a few minutes. So imagine, if you will, a family of 4 going out to eat. One parent wants seafood, the other vegetarian, child 1 a burger, and child 2 pizza. With our first level concept, all 4 family members can get what they want in one place. This floor plan shows the second level, called the loft. This level will be home to Farriers, a neighborhood speakeasy where locals and tourists alike can gather to enjoy the best of regionally sourced, seasonal ingredients in both handcrafted cocktails and light provisions. This level will also include our co-work space. Daily, weekly, and monthly memberships will be available. There will also be indoor and outdoor common area seating for customers of the first floor. Using QR codes on the tables, co-work members and other guests will be able to order food from any food hall vendor from their smartphone and have it brought right up to them on the second and third levels. Now I will be handing off to Michael Wilson to talk about the third level, the rafters. And Michael comes to us from Sweetwater Music Hall.
Thanks, Jen. So the third level, or what we're calling the rafters, will feature a multi-use indoor event space opening onto a spacious rooftop garden patio suitable for all types of events, gatherings, and entertainment possibilities. It will have a state-of-the-art sound reinforcement system featuring locally made Meyer speakers and an acoustic design that will enhance orally and inspire visually. It will have integrated audio and video systems for presentations, conferences, live streaming, and with the ability to capture or record audio and video for production, webinar hosting, and channel content creation. We will pay particular attention to acoustic clarity, sophistication, and intelligibility, whether it's amplified, acoustic, spoken word, or a pre-recorded presentation. The rafters will be ideal for hosting forums, seminars, webinars, and public events such as local farmers markets and community gatherings. It will be a space that will be a venue for private events, corporate events, musical concerts, presentations, educational programs, and forums. Additionally, our space will have a wooden dance floor, which should be a wonderful platform for movement and dance classes. So we are committed to excellence in sound. We'll pay particular attention to the impact of sound going out into our neighborhood, as we understand a building like this will generate a sound footprint. Our approach to sound design is more smaller speakers at a lower volume to bring the sound of the event to the listener's ear instead of throwing it out the building. We're choosing to support local speaker manufacturer Meyer Sound for their commitment to excellence and innovation and as partners in our region. We will present musical artists in a way that convey the things that unite people: music, culture, and food. Focusing on our community and highlighting people and organizations doing work for sustainability and coping with issues facing our region is very important to us. Our facility can also serve as a studio for original content creation for artists, businesses, and the community at large. Now I'll hand it off to Becca to talk about the food hall business model.
Thank you, Michael. So when we first started to explore this concept in 2019, we took a look first at the economics of standalone restaurants. What we found was that the general rule of thumb is that restaurants spend 30% of their revenue on facilities, 30% on food, and 30% on staff, leaving 10% profit if they're lucky. We then created a shared services financial model in which multiple restaurateurs shared a broad array of services such as common area seating, bussers, dishwashers, janitorial, point of sale systems, bookkeeping, internet, and security, to name a few. And we compared those models side by side, and we were really shocked at what we found. We found that we were able to reduce the staffing expenses considerably, achieving a potential 20% in net income for our chefs in the food hall. Here's a visual representation of our findings. On the left, you can see the rule of thumb for a standalone restaurant: 30% of revenue to food, 30% to staffing, 30% to facilities and other overhead expenses, leaving 10% profit on a good day. On the right is our shared services model. 30% of revenue still goes to food, but due to the shared services provided by Farm to Coast, other expenses are redistributed, reducing the staffing and overhead costs considerably, which can result in higher net profits. After we had done all that analysis, Cushman and Wakefield put out a report in May of 2020 called The Food Hall Model: Independent Food and Beverages Pathway to Post-COVID-19 Profitability, which validated our findings. That report said, and I quote, "The low cost to staff a micro kitchen and a condensed menu allow vendors to work economies of scale. This low cost alternative also has significantly higher profit margins, typically between 15 and 20% for the vendor, compared to restaurants which often struggle to reach 10% profit." It also stated, "The independent restaurant has revealed itself as one of the enterprises most vulnerable to the challenges of the COVID-19 crisis, both because of the obvious impact of shutdowns and social distancing, but less obvious because the traditional independent restaurant financial model was flawed to begin with. Large swaths of the independent restaurant community are going to need a rebuilding mechanism, one with lower inherent risk for all, a better operational model that allows for higher profit margins, and low barrier to entry. Food halls will be where the industry rebuilds first." That was very heartening to read that report. And we believe that Farm to Coast Collective will help rebuild our local food and beverage industry. So now I'm going to hand it off to Katie to go over the shared services that Farm to Coast Collective will provide to our licensees. Katie?
Thank you, Becca. Here you can see all of the services that Farm to Coast is including as part of the licensing fee. The micro kitchens in each space are designed for each of our licensees, which are specific to their individual needs. A liquor license is often too expensive for small businesses to afford. Sharing the license will provide the option for each of our licensees to sell alcohol in each kitchen. Shared common areas provide the option for each patron or group of patrons to visit multiple licensees during their visit. Internet, utilities, recycling, and composting service, and a security system will be part of our service as well. We will also have a marketing budget to promote the space, meaning that our licensees can minimize their own marketing budgets. The events that are hosted on site will provide catering opportunities for our licensees, and we will provide basic bookkeeping and a robust point of sale system, in addition to administrative support for any needs that arise. We will have on-site management present during open hours, and we will provide bussers and dishwashers to keep the common areas clean. All of these offers are unique to the food hall license model. These services are going to provide the resources for our licensees to succeed. So we truly believe that Farm to Coast Collective at the Livery on Main is a step towards rebuilding and revitalizing our community, giving local entrepreneurs the support they need to succeed. Support structure. Our shared general management, staff, and services provide unprecedented levels of support to our licensees. Licensee satisfaction. We believe that happiness and success comes from doing what you love. Because we are handling the bussing, dishwashing, cleaning, bookkeeping, and more, chefs can walk away at the end of each day feeling inspired, not tired. Community growth. Creative and talented chefs can truly focus on what they do best, increasing their own chances for success. And now I'll hand it back off to Jen.
Thanks, Katie. So I'm sure you're all curious about who our food hall licensees are and how we conducted our selection process. So when evaluating our potential licensees, we considered the licensee's overall concept, its level of creativity, how it fits into our community, and how it fits into the cuisine mix of the project. We also took into account the quality of their business plan and its presentation. But most of all, it was important to us that the individuals were a good cultural fit. From the inception of this project 2 years ago, we knew we wanted to partner with and support optimistic, creative, and talented entrepreneurs. I will give a brief summary of each concept now, and if they are present during this call, which quite a few are, They can introduce themselves briefly in the following slides and answer any questions you may have during our Q&A at the end. Cozy Plum, delicious plant-based vegan food. Taverna Lethe, a taste of the Greek islands. Lunchbox Sonoma, craft burgers and sandwiches. Village Bakery, a longtime local favorite. Farrier's Lounge, a neighborhood speakeasy. And Charo Negro, colorful Mexican. And now I will hand it over to our first licensee, Charles and Lisa from Cozy Plum. If you're not unmuted, let's see. Let me just.
There we go. Hi.
You want to start, Charles?
Oh, go ahead, Lisa.
All right, I'm Lisa Ladon, and I'm a co-owner with Charles White at Cozy Plum Bistro. We actually are from Sebastopol. We met in 8th grade at Twin Hills Middle School. We attended Annalee High School together, and then went our separate ways, but became friends on Facebook. And a few years ago, I was very ill, and Charles had found a lot of success with his health with veganism. And he introduced me to vegan food while I was in the hospital, and we became fast friends. And we started dreaming about a place where we could go to eat because there were so few options in Sonoma County for vegans. And Charles started veganizing his favorite foods, and really, as a self-taught chef, was hitting it out of the ballpark. And we talked about a food truck, and then Gaia's Garden, which was a longtime vegetarian place on Mendocino Avenue, came up for sale. And at first we went, no, we can't do this, we're not ready. And then at the end of the day, we decided to jump in. We opened on March 10th, 3 days before the COVID shutdown. So as far as timing for opening in a restaurant, that's about as bad as it gets, but we've survived. And every week has been highs and lows for sure, but we've adapted, and we're super excited about how the community has responded to our menu and all the wonderful things that Charles has created. And I basically try to keep the ship running, and have learned a lot about the restaurant business because I'm really a full-time teacher at Willowside Middle School. And so I'm learning as we go, but it's been quite an adventure, and we're super excited to be part of the Livery and everything that the Beal Group has to offer.
Well said, Lisa. Thank you.
Well, thank you both, Charles and Lisa, and we look forward to having your plant-based concept at the Livery. So next up, we have Dino and Sarah from Taverna Lethe.
How's it going, guys? I'm Dino. And this is Sarah. We're very excited to be a part of this concept. It's been something that's been on our minds heavy lately, and we're really excited to get going. Our concept, Taverna Lethe, is to bring a taste of the Greek Isles to Sonoma County, and more so, the experience that comes with the food. I'm driven by the idea of philoyenia, which means the art of making a stranger a friend. This idea drives my efforts to make food fit for the gods with a loving embrace and hospitality of a traditional small Greek home. All of our recipes that will be at Taverna Lethe have been passed down generation from generation in my family. So they're very cherished recipes that I'm really excited to bring forward and share with the community. You know, I started doing this whole thing right before COVID as well. We got a food truck, Dino's Creek food truck, and we just grinded every single day, 16, 17 hours in the corner of that food truck, wrapping gyros and making Greek salads and doing what we possibly could to everything we possibly could to keep the lights on and keep it going. And we had a tremendous response. You know, our thing was to try and be as involved with the community as possible. And I think because of that, we got a really tremendous response from everybody. A lot of people showed up. A lot of people came and, you know, stood in the rain and came through the fires, when their house was out of power, and a lot of people just took the time and spent their money with us, and we really appreciate that because it helped us go throughout the whole pandemic. And yeah, we're really excited with all the shared services and the concept behind Livery and everything that they stand for. It's tremendous for us because we're definitely a community-based driven concept, and we definitely want to try and bring everything that we have to offer to Livery, and just as a community as a whole, just do as much as we possibly can.
Thank you, Dino and Sarah. And Greek food is going to be a hit in Sebastopol. We're really looking forward to it. Next up, we have Derek and Megan from Lunchbox Sonoma.
Hey,
Hi, guys.
I'm Derek Harn. This is my wife, Megan Harn. From Lunchbox, we started as a burger pop-up at Ramen Gaijin, and then kind of COVID happened. We've been private chefing since then, but we're super excited to be a part of the project. And we definitely want to specialize in hyper-local craft burgers and sandwiches.
Yeah, our plans to just work with the community in terms of different farmers and,
Yeah, and we're so lucky to be in Sonoma County with all the different creameries here, the different ranches here, and the farmers. And we're super excited to build relationships with them and keep our dollars like in the community as much as possible.
Yeah, and we're super excited by the concept of Livery too. And
yeah.
Thank you, Derek and Megan. And your burgers sound delicious. And we look forward to having you and trying them out.
Absolutely.
So next up, we have Patrick and Teresa from Village Bakery.
Hi.
Hello. Hi, everyone. We are very excited to be a part of this innovative collective. Pat and I have, we are a tad bit emotional about our homecoming of sorts to Sebastopol. As many of you may already know, we left Sebastopol rather abruptly 2.5 years ago after losing our business in the floods. We have set up a new home base in Santa Rosa, which of course is not focused on our West County demographics. So this project is very heartwarming to us in that we feel we're coming home. So on that note, we have a lot of fresh ideas to bring, and Pat here will
yeah, I want to tell you about our business concept at Livery. We plan on bringing back some familiar favorites like our hearth style breads like the seed of sourdough, our morning pastries, our fine pastries like our princess cake, which people just rave about. And we also want to introduce our, we have a gluten-free line of baked goods that Teresa has spearheaded. And we're working on our menu in terms of looking forward to collaborating with our neighbors at Livery. And we'll be bringing back pizza.
Yes.
Yeah.
We have a deck oven, so why not make pizza? Aside from that, we really would like to focus on some breakfast and lunch items. Again, that's in the works. And we're hoping to get some ideas from our neighbors so that we can sort of reach out more in a collaborative effort instead of sort of stepping on anyone's territory.
Am I the only one that doesn't hear them, or did they get muted?
Sounds like
okay, thanks. Thank you, Patrick and Teresa. And Sebastopol is definitely looking forward to your homecoming. So next we have Rod from Charo Negro. So
hi guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
yes.
Yeah, okay. So my name is Rodrigo. I'm the owner of Charo Negro Food Truck, which is ocean to table. We do a lot of seafood with Mexican flavors. I've been doing seafood for 13 or 14 years at Willie's Seafood. Before that, I was cooking in DC in New York. And I was lucky enough to be chosen by Charlie Palmer to be part of his team at Dry Creek Kitchen in Hillsburg. And the main reason I decided to stay here in Sonoma County was because the relationship and communication that you have with local farmers. And that was also a big plus for me to wanted to be part of this project, which I love that. And it makes me excited. So hopefully we'll, have a great relationship with all the farmers in Sebastopol and Sonoma County. I think that will be all that I have to say for now.
Thank you, Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Charo Negro is going to be such a great complement to our mix of licensees. Lastly, we have Farrier's Lounge. And unfortunately, the magic makers behind this brand could not be with us tonight, but rest assured, this is going to quickly become everyone's favorite go-to spot. A neighborhood speakeasy on the second level of the Livery with indoor-outdoor table service. The Farriers will be an upscale but comfortable lounge where locals and tourists alike can gather. So here we have our project timeline. In December of 2020, we were approved by the Design Review Board to move forward with our concept for the building. Currently, we are in the process of acquiring our building permit. We are hoping to break ground in the next month or so, and it is our goal to open this project by autumn of 2022. With the addition of the Persinger Architecture Building, which is practically turnkey as is, there's a possibility that we could open a restaurant sooner. Until we know exactly what that is, we are referring to the building as the Little Livery. So what's next? We have our ribbon cutting at the Little Livery next door on Thursday, September 9th. Of course, details could change depending on where we're at with COVID restrictions, so please follow us on social media to get up-to-date information. This will be an opportunity to meet the different food hall licensees, sample bites from their proposed menus. And if all goes according to plan, we will have live entertainment and beverages as well. Also, Saturday, September 18th, we will have a float in the Apple Blossom Parade. And our float will encompass all of our family of companies with our Thrive Construction dump truck at the helm. And we will have a table set up out in front of the Livery on that day, and will be available to meet you all in person and answer any additional questions you might have about the project. So we hope you stop by to say hello. And lastly, we have set up a regulation crowdfund campaign to directly benefit the licensees by covering startup and tenant improvement costs that would otherwise be paid for by them. It's currently live and allows community members to invest in the project. Details can be found by going to wefunder.com/farm to coast or by visiting our website, livery135.com, and clicking on invest. This concludes our presentation. And thank you all so much for tuning in tonight and showing your interest and support in the project. It means a lot to us to have such a great turnout. And we would now love to take any questions that you might have. And I'm going to turn it over to Becca to lead this portion of the town hall.
Great, thanks, Jen. Okay, so I've got a couple questions here. Max asked, just curious, is the UPS store on your property or is it, I think, another parcel? It is part of the property, but as of, yeah, it's part of our property. We own it. UPS store is still there, and they're yeah, that's I hope that answers your question. Okay. We also have another attendee who asked, we are residential neighbors who support your exciting plans. Thank you. Can you discuss what you view as the parking areas for evening customers? Jen, do you want to take this one?
I would love to. We were prepared. So, yeah, although our project does not require that we add additional parking, we do know how important that is to our community. So in considering this project, we surveyed the available parking, and we found that there are at least 524 public parking spots close by. And we're also exploring the possibility of offering some type of shuttle service to address parking shortages in the future. Yeah, so.
I think to that note, Jen, if I can just add as well, I think there's been many conversations about working with other local businesses that have larger parking, or public areas, and coordinating parking for special events and having shuttles coordinated to go to and from for those larger events. So, good, very good question.
Okay, so Amy asked, will the new building you acquired be separate, or will you be redesigning your space to incorporate the space next door? That's a great question. Greg, do you want to take that one?
I would love to. As mentioned a little bit earlier, is that building really is close to turnkey. So I think the way I'd like to summarize that is that there's more to remain than to change. And I think we'll be putting our personal touches on the building, but really it will be, the changes will most likely be tailored to the licensee or licensees in that space. And to get it, we may consider some materials that are more cohesive with what we're proposing next door as well, to make it feel more connected and part of the project.
Oh, but you know, we are planning to connect the two buildings.
Correct.
So that will affect the first floor design. So we're working that out now.
Correct. Yeah, very good point. There'll be interior connection between the two buildings, which has caused us to do a little bit of redesign of some facilities within the Livery now, but we've already found some good solutions for that. And I think it's actually, I'm really excited about how much this actually adds to the project, because with this opening on the very east side of the Livery building, when you enter from Main Street, you will be able to see all the way through the Livery and into this Persinger building, which has basically 2 stories of windows out to the alleyway there. And I think it'll be a lot of natural light. And I think it'll be a pretty dramatic, pretty pleasant place to be.
All right, we've got Daniel. He asked, how will art and local artists be incorporated into the building and space? Jen, do you want to take that one?
Sure. Yeah, we've already reached out to a few artists and muralists in the community to do interior, exterior murals in different areas. We're also working with Creative Sonoma to find other artists that we may need, sculptures, water features. Creative Sonoma has been a great resource to connect us with those artists. So we are working with them, as well as Sonoma County Tourism.
Great. Are there any other questions? I think, okay, so Melody asks, can you open now? I'm so hungry for the project. Sorry, Melody, we've got a lot of work to do. Oh, and Caitlin, I'm sorry, you're starving. I know, I hear you. Okay, oh, here's one, okay. Larry asked, in years past, I've suggested to the city that since the Roundtable building was 2 stories, that the Burnett parking lot could be modified to be 3 levels, 1 below ground and 2 levels above. Any comment on that, Greg?
Sure. I think if we started with a blank lot, I would love the idea of having a basement level, but trying to preserve what is there now we were most efficiently be able to go up. The view from the roof of this building is phenomenal, 360 degrees. It's gorgeous. I also think that not that anybody wants to think about flooding anytime soon, but I think the effort of getting staying as high above the flood line as possible is probably in a lot of people's minds right now. So we decided to go up, but looks like, Larry, great minds think alike as far as the 3 levels though.
I wonder, were you talking about the parking lot, the Hot Monk parking lot?
Oh.
I'm wondering, because we don't, that would be awesome, but we don't have any, any sway around that. I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay, here's another one. Okay. Amy asked, will you need to queue in line for each vendor, or will it all be handled from an app? That's a great question. I think that you have the option to either queue in line or order from the app.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, Ambrosia asked, will you be serving all food and drink items in reusable plates, cups, and cutlery? We are looking at that. That is our hope and intention. Serving all food and drink items in there, yes, absolutely. Yes. Everything will be reusable. We have, yeah.
Thor could probably talk to this a little bit. We're also exploring reusable containers for carry out and delivery as well. Thor, do you have, nothing is set in stone, but we've been researching a lot on different programs for that.
Yeah, actually Maya, the CEO of Dispatch Goods, was on the webinar earlier. I don't see her there anymore, but that's a program that's been really successful in the Bay Area. Oh, she is here. So can someone unmute her and let her talk?
Yeah, I don't think I can unmute her. Sorry.
Shoot.
Can you? Yeah, well,
can just chat with her.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Wait, what's her name? I see where I can do that.
Maya Teckle.
Okay, let me.
I thought you, Ambrosia, I thought you were talking about takeout containers, but you're not. But I'd love to hear from Maya about takeout containers.
Maya, you're unmuted.
Amazing. I've really loved sitting in on this. This has been, the project looks incredible. I cannot wait to do a tour day, all of the restaurants around the world. But yeah, I'm Maya. I'm one of the founders of Dispatch Goods, and really my co-founder Lindsay and I are on a mission to eliminate single use. So we've created a circular system that for takeout and delivery containers, and we work with restaurants. We try to mimic it to be as easy as single use, but have little to no impact on our environment. So I've been working with Thor to kind of talk about the logistics, but we're hoping to explore that more and have it completely zero waste. And so that's the dream for the future. And so I have a lot of exciting ideas for this now that I've seen kind of the layout, but I'm happy to answer any additional questions people may have. Thor has my information, so he can get in touch with me.
Thank you, Maya.
Thank you.
Somebody asked, for those who participate in the crowdfunding, can you comment on what that means in terms of stock ownership in the project or other benefits for those that participate? Unfortunately, I cannot talk about that, but all of that information is on WeFunder. So
can you just briefly mention why we cannot talk about it?
Yeah, it's an SEC regulation. So and until we file our Form C, which we haven't filed, I think we cannot talk. I know that we cannot talk about the details of.
Sure, but all the information's on the website though, and then we can answer questions one-on-one, but not in a public format. Is that right?
Yes, that's right. Okay. In the new COVID world, have you considered outdoor window for prepaid pickup?
Yes, I'd love to talk about that one.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah, so what's really interesting about this project is before COVID, we were already thinking and prioritizing outdoor in general, as well as pickup convenience. I have a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old. My wife and I, we all live very busy lives, and to have that flexibility, we've actually designed the first level layout specifically with multiple pickup locations so that customers do not need to come within the building. There's some city regulations about pickup windows where the customer is actually standing on the city sidewalk. And this project and layout actually allows multiple locations where customers can be on the property but not come in the building. And so we've definitely thought about that. And it's a really important part of, I think, this project to protect our staff and our community under any circumstances that we unfortunately all know all too much about right now. So very good question. Thank you.
All right. So Amy asked, how many spaces are you planning for the co-working space? And have you incorporated elements like better ventilation in light of COVID? You know, we've gone through a couple redesigns on the co-work. So Thor, do you happen to know how many spots are in the co-working space? I want to say 40.
Well, we're looking to max the membership at 150 people. So the actual specific number of positions, I couldn't tell you right offhand.
Okay.
But
Yeah,
we'll find out and get back to Amy on that.
And I can attest to the HVAC systems, the heating and cooling ventilating systems for the enclosed spaces, separate spaces are designed in a way to have separate circulation from one another. There is a large common area that obviously would have to shares all the volume, but the individual spaces are actually ventilated separately.
All right, so
yeah, I can see here. Yeah, we just have a couple. This is the co-work section, and then there's another area of common area lounge seating as well.
Oh, and the co-work, I'm not sure if someone already said this because I was reading questions, but it's indoor and outdoor. Coworkers can also chill out on the balcony. Okay, we've got Matthew asked, will there be low-cost access to the performance space for educational and community-related content, open forums, etc.? I think we're all in favor of that. Does anyone want to comment?
That has been a key part of thinking about all of these flex spaces, the co-work space, the rooftop, indoor, outdoor, all of these different things, from school fundraisers to anything else like that, I think is just extremely important to provide accessibility to local programs like that.
Absolutely. And he also asked about content creation services for those who would like access to your technical capacities to serve the community. 100%. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Michael, do you have anything to add to that?
Not well, I guess just that, yeah, we hope that will be future-proof in terms of the way we design the capacities of the building, and obviously we want it to be used for good, and that's definitely one of the things that's for the good.
All right, does anyone else have any questions? I'm at the end of the list here. All right, I guess I'll give it just a minute here, see if anyone else has a question. But really great questions, everyone. Thank you so much. Let's see here.
Yeah, and I just want to say thank you for everybody showing up and expressing interest. I really want to thank the licensees for joining our project here. It's, getting to know them over the months has really been fantastic, and is the strength of this project is just really exciting to me. So anyways, this is really great. Please keep in touch, like Jen mentioned earlier, through different forms of social media, our website. We want to keep everybody informed with the progress. And yeah, I think that especially during hard times, a lot of us are sending kids back to school or teaching kids at school, Lisa. And this is and with the pandemic and everything else going on and smoke in the air, I'd like to think that this is a way for us to take control of something right now that we can, that will positively impact our community and something to look forward to. So I really appreciate, once again, everybody's interest and involvement here. And I love the fact that this project makes me feel optimistic, which I feel like is so important right now. So thank you very much. And we hope to keep in touch with you. And most importantly, see you and sit next to you when we're open here, hopefully as soon as possible. So.
Thank you.
Dino, Sarah, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you.
Maya, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you, everybody.
Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah.